So I grew up playing soccer. I started at the age of 4 or 5, just playing recreationally with some of my friends. And then I realized it was something that I kind of wanted to pursue a little bit more and get into a club team. So I got into a club travel team, and then the rest has kind of just been history. I played in different leagues across the nation, National League, ECNL, DA, stuff like that. So I kind of got a handful of everything. I decided to come to UNC my sophomore year of high school. I verbally committed. It was a big decision, even though, the school has a legendary history of winning. It still meant that I was going all the way across the country because I'm from Arizona. So it was a big decision, but at the end of the day, I think it was the best decision for me as far as my character development and my growth as a player and my academics off the field as well. So I tore my ACL January 31st of 2020. I was playing for the under-18 women's national team, and we were in a tournament with the Netherlands, China, and Switzerland. And it was our last game against the Netherlands, and I'd gotten in around the 70th minute. And it was the last play of the game. I went to turn with the ball. The ball didn't go. I went to turn back, and all I heard was a pop. The pop was so loud, and I had heard stories about people and how it happened to them and what they heard when it happened. And I also felt it. I felt my upper leg shift from my lower leg, and I'd never done that before. I got surgery before the pandemic hit. I got surgery about 2 weeks after it happened, almost. So February 13th, I went in for surgery in the morning, came out a couple hours later. The next day I was in rehab, getting my mobility back. It was a pretty steady progress at first. I was making big jumps, and I got rid of crutches a week after. And then the pandemic hit and I had to go home. Luckily, I had a PT at home that I trusted and was able to go to immediately and didn't close down. So I went there, and again, steady progress throughout the summer. And then when I got back to Chapel Hill, I ended up getting a stress fracture in my shin due to just an overload of lifting and running and playing soccer. So that was a difficult time, but then I went back home for break, and I got cleared to play as soon as I got back here in January. I think the toughest part of rehab was sitting out. You'd think it would be, initially, the hardest part I thought was going to be the first 4 weeks where I was in my brace and couldn't move and wasn't able to do just simple things around the house. But it's been the process of coming back and trying to find who I am as a player again. That's been a lot more challenging than I thought it was, because when you don't do something for so long and you're taken away from it, it's hard to jump back in, especially at this level. So that's probably been the hardest part, is just rejoining and finding myself as a player. My advice would be to not look at it as a linear progress. There's ups and downs in everything, and you have to take them as they come, and you have to take advantage of your success when you have it, and you have to learn from your regression when that happens. Everyone's process is different, so you can't rely on previous friends or family or whoever who's had it. You can't rely on their process because it's just not going to be the same. Your body's not the same. Your rehab's probably not the same. So I think thinking of it as an individual instead of comparing yourself to someone else is a key part in staying hopeful and positive throughout the process. Obviously, running is a big part of it because, you haven't done it for so long, and that's something you have to be clear to do and have to work up to. So I started running a couple weeks earlier than anticipated because of where my strength was at the time. So that was really exciting, and I was really close to a lot of people in the clinic that I was at, and so that was a big moment for me. And when people celebrate you like that for something that seems so small at the time, it just really helps in the process. another big thing was coming back here and like playing and scoring. It's like a kind of reminder that I am back and I did the work and I put the work in. So